tune in to TTB. I'm your host Toya, and today is Sunday, Communion Sunday. Y'all, I know I've been off all week. As I stated all week long, y'all know I do these videos all in one day, and this day is the last day of this little head cold I got, so bear with me. But which brought me, it actually because of this head cold is what made me think to show you guys how I make this, because I'm about to make this lentil and barley soup that is quite delicious and very comforting and helps actually just makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you get over your sickness quicker, right? So I'm about to get started with this. As I normally do, I tell you guys a little information as far as the foods that we're using. So in this case, it's lentils and barley. And because those are grains, they're going to be high in fiber. They're also high in different nutrients and things like that, like all fruits and vegetables. But because they're high in fiber, they keep you feeling full longer, and they help keep your digestive tract healthy. Um, y'all see, I already got my shirt wet. But anyway, they keep your digestive tract healthy as well. So we're going to be using some lentils. I got some carrots, onions, and celery, also known as the Trinity for some people. But I usually have mushrooms in here. I'll usually do the portobello mushrooms that I'll dice up. I don't have any right now, but I do have some mushroom broth that I made out of some mushrooms. You know, sometimes you don't eat the stems on them or use the stems, so I'll take those, put them to the sides, and then I just boiled it with some seasonings and made a broth out of it. Which reminded me, two seasonings I forgot to grab that I'm gonna add in this as well. But anyway, all of this is gonna be very flavorful. It's gonna help make me feel better. And it's also quite delicious, which is why I wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm gonna move you in so we can get started. All right, so I am back. I got the fire started just on a medium high heat, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon of, or yep, that's about a tablespoon. I didn't really mean a tablespoon, but that's what it is. A grapeseed oil. Once this get warmed up, we're going to add our Trinity in it, as well as some garlic. And yes, I have the jar minced garlic because I use a lot of garlic. Now, it's debatable when you add your garlic. Some people do it after they saute the vegetables so it doesn't burn. I always just put it in there because it doesn't really matter to me. It never burns for me. And one of the things about the garlic, because I'm going to use a lot, y'all going to be like, dang, Toya, that's a lot of garlic. You don't have to use as much as I do. One of the reasons I really don't give out the recipe or do measurements and stuff like that is because you're really making this to taste. So this would be to your taste. If you don't like garlic, don't put garlic in. If you don't like celery, don't use celery. But this is to your taste, and you're going to cook it how you want it. Now, normally when I make this, I make a bigger pot, but I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, and I don't want too much left over, okay? That's just sitting there until I get back. So, yes, I'm using all that garlic because I want to get rid of this that's in me, this cold. The last remnants of this cold, I want it to be gone, so I'm going to use all that garlic. And then, like I said, we got some onion, celery, and carrot. You know, a lot of people refer to that as the Trinity. So I'm going to get all of this sauteed. All right. Get this sauteed up. And looking good. Now, while that's sauteing, this is my lentils and barley. Okay, so it's green lentils and then barley. I always try to get organic. And then even with that, for the barley as well as the lentils, and even with that being said and getting the organic, you still want to rinse it off really well. So just like you rinse your rice off, you want to rinse your grains off as well. Okay, so rinse them off a couple of times until they come out clear. Now, as far as the seasonings, I have some garlic powder. Let me move my spoon holder. Garlic powder. I'm going to use a touch of smoked paprika, not a whole lot, but just a touch. I have some turmeric, which is great for inflammation. I have a bay leaf I'm going to put in here. And this is just a dry bay leaf. Okay. So I'm going to put that in there. Y'all know I'm going to use my cayenne pepper. It wouldn't be me if I didn't. I got some onion powder, some black pepper, some mushroom powder, and some chickpea miso powder. Chickpea miso powder I actually get from a place called Thai Feast that's here in Michigan, in Dearborn, Michigan. They are online. I've posted about them before. But they make their chickpea out of, their miso out of chickpeas instead of the traditional soybean. So for somebody like me who has a sensitivity to soy, it works out really well. Okay, so I have all of that. Now I know you're saying, well, you put onions in it and you put garlic in it. Why are you using garlic powder and garlic onion? Well, when you cook with garlic powder and garlic onion, it gives it a different flavor because the fact that it has been dried and dehydrated. So it gives it a different flavor as opposed to the fresh. Would I substitute one of them? Me personally, no. I just use both. I use the powder as well as the fresh. Okay, so it's not important right now to get this all the way. You're not trying to cook this, but just saute it, okay? Because it'll finish cooking and soften up with everything else. So this is when I add my seasonings. So I'm going to add my chickpea miso. And anything I'm adding, if you don't like, you don't add. Or, shoot, I just lost my spoon. Okay, this is the mushroom powder. This will also be the time I would typically add the mushrooms, the portobello mushrooms that I diced up. That's the cayenne pepper. And like I said, anything I use, if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. You know, that's the thing about when you cook. When you cook from scratch, you make it to your liking, not to somebody else's. Okay? It's to you and your family, your household. What do y'all like? And that's who you cook for. That was the turmeric. That's the black pepper. More came out than I wanted. A little smoked paprika, not too much. Just for a little smoky flavor. Onion powder. And garlic powder. Alright, and that's everything that I put in it. You know, I never put ginger in it before. Let's put a little ginger in and see how it make it change. Because ginger is good for your digestion, so that will help. I'll mix this up. Now, like I said, because I don't have actual mushrooms, I'm using a mushroom broth that I made. That's also why you guys didn't hear me put salt in it, because I also use a vegetable bouillon from Better Bouillon vegetable. They're organic vegetable based, but I'm out of that too. So I'm gonna use this vegan chicken bouillon powder. But that's why I didn't put salt in it, because both of those are going to be kind of salty, as well as the mushroom powder and the miso powder. They all have salt in it, so I don't want to put too much. Throw my bay leaf in, put my grains in, and then you want to put enough water in here to cover. Now, the beautiful thing about soup is it's easy. You don't have to have a recipe to follow, y'all. You really don't. You just put some seasonings in it that you like. Because all it is just you take something, you boil it in the broth, and it's soup. So if you like meat, you put meat in there. If you like fish, try fish soup. You know, they have some out there. I'm doing vegetables. So that's what I'm using. But you just put it in there, and you let it simmer till it's done. Season it to what you like. It's really very easy. So this is distilled water. Y'all know I distill my own water. With the countertop distiller. So I'm going to put my own water in there, and it's just a cover. Okay, well, a little more than cover, because we make a soup. But the grains are going to absorb some of that water. It's going to cook out, so that's why you see me fill it up like that. But you put the water in there. If you find you have put too much water in it, take the lid off and let it simmer without the lid, and the water will evaporate. If you didn't put enough water in there, just add some more while it's cooking until it gets to the consistency you like. Now, at this point, I usually taste it just to make sure I seasoned it properly and see if it needs anything else. Nope, that's good. And then what happens too is the seasoning, the flavor of it will get stronger as it simmers. So we're going to let that cook for about 40 minutes, around 30-40 minutes. We're gonna let that cook, and once it's done, I'll come back and show you end result, and you can see what it looked like. And then I'll do a taste test for y'all, and we can go back about our day. But I'll be right back once this is done. Okay, so we are back. The soup is done. As you can see, all the steam bellowing from it. You do want to make sure you take the bay leaf out, because doesn't taste good to digest that. So we'll just take that out. Yeah, but this is the soup. This is ready. See how delicious that is? Let me see if I turn this off. Yeah, you can see the actual color. See? Alright. So now it's time for the taste test. So I'm gonna put some in this bowl. Alright, let me move the camera. Okay, so sorry about that camera feel. But this is the soup. How delicious that is. And see how it thickened up on its own? And remember, I didn't add any extra salt because of all the bouillon that was in it. The bouillon that I made myself, and the chicken one that was bought. Along with the mushroom powder and the miso powder. So yeah, y'all can't see me, but anyway, very good. The barley gives it a nice chew, and the lentils make it hearty. And if I had mushrooms in here, it really would have set it off. But like I said, I usually use the portobello mushrooms. I usually dice that up and put in here. But anyway, like I said, it's a nice comforting soup. Kind of turns a little stewish. You can stop it before it gets to this point if you want. But that's it. That's my lentil and barley soup. It's very delicious. And I'm about to sit here, and this is what I'm about to eat. So I can clear out all of this mucus that's in me right now. So I can breathe. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.